Hello and welcome to the 77th Annual Lower Merion Memorial Day Parade here in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. I'm disgraced former Commissioner Mike McKeon, forgotten but not gone, and the weather is holding out today. It's been, we were worried there's going to be some rain, but so far so good. It's been holding out and we hope to get the parade done today on time, so thank you to everyone who came out today.
Thanks, Mike. I'm Dave McComb. I'm a former Township Commissioner for Ward 9. Not disgraced. I was never impeached or indicted, but that's for another day.
You left disgracefully.
Yeah. A lot of people worked very hard, putting a lot of effort to make today's parade possible. So we want to thank all of our sponsors. It's brought to you by the Lower Merion Township and Suburban Square, the Ardmore Business Association, Harry Aldhouse, Barry Maria McKeon, John and Mary Mulhern, Ferrari Philadelphia, Armin Chevrolet, Ardmore Nissan, Ardmore Toyota, Hayden Printing Company, Lower Merion Tire Service, The Candy Lab, Bob Sormanicano, Leary's Flower Shop, Ardmore Pizza, Mado, Sabrina Ann, Ardmore Eye Care, Mike Coughlin, Chadwick and McKinney Funeral Home, and many more.
Wow, yeah, thank you for going through those names. And just a quick plug to my father, Barry McKeon, who's an organizer this year. He was a scout dog handler in Vietnam, was a combat veteran, served from 1969 to 1970, and thank you, Barry, for your service.
Yeah, we can't thank Barry enough. Barry stepped up and became our Secretary-Treasurer of this committee. By the way, I'm Anthony Stevenson, Ward Commissioner, currently serving. I'm the less of the smarter two. These two are smart enough to get off. I'm still serving.
You have the patch on your shirt to prove it, too.
I do have my patch here.
Ripped out of our hearts.
They took yours away. Anyway, guys, we couldn't ask for a better day. The crowds are starting to come up. They're filling in. This rain is going to hold off until this afternoon, and of course we're going to have nice music, and of course Mike, your brother, has showed up as well, so the party is about to begin.
There is a Kevin McKeon signing.
There is a Kevin without his band, but he's still here.
The KMX band is not there, but one band that is here is the Merion Concert Group. We thank them for coming out, but it's really nice to hear that live music from the Merion Concert Group.
Now, the parade will be getting underway shortly. It's sort of short, but it's packed with a lot. We're going to see the Eastwood Commandos Drill Unit, the Southwest Light Bearers Drill Unit, the West Powelton Drill Unit, or known as the Sixers Drummers, and the Jazz Crew, which is a New Orleans-style marching band group. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
And are the commissioners going to be in the parade aside from you, Anthony? Or?
Well, I mean, we will have the commissioners. They'll be walking behind and handing out candy. We're looking forward to them to be generous because we got a lot of kids here today.
And they're going to be throwing some candy too, right? Is that going to be stale hard candy like normal, or did they actually spend some money and get some real candy?
Well, I think some's left over from last year, but who knows?
Or before.
Or before, because they were pretty stingy in previous years, but this year we're going to be pretty generous and pass out much more.
Yeah, and just a note too, I know some people were concerned about the musical selections. At the last minute, MC Hammer and Jack Harlow were removed from the set list. So those of you coming out for Jack Harlow, love him, you won't be able to here today. Also, General Harlan Beige from Bunker Hill Military Academy couldn't make it today. There was an incident. He's been unavoidably detained, unfortunately.
We did try and get ZZ Top to play, but apparently they're playing in Houston today, so they were not available.
But we're doing our best. Basically, we want everyone to know that. And it wouldn't be the same if we didn't mention all the first responders who are out here today. I saw lining up Belmont Hills Rescue and Squad 22, those vehicles. So we thank you to all our volunteer fire departments for coming out and helping to support the parade today.
Yeah, they do a great job keeping us safe in Lower Merion, and they're always looking for volunteers. So anybody who's interested in volunteering with one of our many fire companies should look at the website. There are great opportunities from any age to do anything for our fire company. So thanks for keeping that in mind.
And Anthony, what happens after this parade? Where's everybody end up?
Well, everybody ends up. The parade is a good start. It starts on Greenfield Avenue, comes down, ends up at St. Paul's Cemetery, where we'll be honoring our fallen heroes that have helped make this land so great.
And St. Paul's actually is it's a historic cemetery founded by the German Lutherans. 1766, the first tombstone was put in the cemetery. It's got veterans of foreign wars dating back to the American Revolution, the War of 1812, Civil War, World War I, World War II, and even the Korean War. So a really fantastic historical cemetery right literally in our own backyard.
Yeah, you're right. It's a very historical cemetery, and it has a lot of symbolism for the entire community.
Yeah, it's even though Memorial Day is sort of the unofficial kickoff to the summer, and it's fun. You think of cookouts and going on the shore and Phillies games. It's truly a somber holiday in many respects, and we're paying homage and remembering those who gave their lives in service of our country. Just in my family, really my wife's family, her uncle, who died before she was born, left college at age 22, enlisted in the Marine Corps, and was tragically killed in heavy fighting at Iwo Jima on March 14th, 1945. And it's something the family really doesn't get over, but and his name was Sandy Drinker, and when Sandy was killed at Iwo Jima, he was carrying to safety an injured fellow Marine who lived, and for the rest of his life he stayed in touch with Sandy's family and got together with them, and they sort of saw that even though they'd lost their son, he'd saved a fellow Marine, and that kind of gave more meaning to it. And again, others, I haven't lost anybody in my direct family, but I've had my son serve in the Navy for 6 years. He was an intelligence specialist. And I have a future son-in-law. My daughter just got engaged, and he's serving on the USS Washington aircraft carrier. Just embarked about 2 weeks ago. So we all should take a moment to think of those who served, are serving, and have made that contribution to keeping us safe.
That's an amazing contribution by your family. And Memorial Day, that's what this is, to remember those who died in service. Actually was started as called Declaration Day following the Civil War to honor Union War dead, and it morphed and gradually became Memorial Day. But there's also Veterans Day to honor all veterans, people who served, and that dates back to November 11th, 1918, was when the armistice ended the First World War on the 11th hour, the 11th day, the 11th month. And also there's Armed Forces Day, which was May 18th, 2024, and that celebrates really everyone who's currently in our armed services. So
it's all great holidays. Things we should keep in mind.
Absolutely. So, Anthony, what are we going to see today in this parade? I mean, will we see American Legion post here? Any civic associations? I don't know. We might have an old book.
Oh yes, we're going to see a lot of stuff. First responders, township veterans and civic groups, Leon Spencer, post veterans with color guards and ladies auxiliary will make their annual appearance, as well as Friends of Linwood Park and the Sons of the American Legion 547. This 6th Regiment Infantry United States Colored Troops plan to be here, as do the United States 1067th Transportation Company of Allentown. There will be members of the Lower Merion Police Department, representatives from Lower Merion's volunteer fire companies, and members of the Lower Merion Commissioners.
And that's why I think all the kids are out to see all the commissioners. I know most kids have a favorite commissioner. I don't know if...
that's why I was put here in the booth instead of Martin.
And that's why I didn't run again.
So we were not voted as most most popular because I didn't even throw out candy, so they kicked it out. But we also probably will have some of the scouts as well.
Yeah. Also, a special thank you to Dave Holland, Spencer Reed 547 for helping organize the parade. Spencer Reed, backbone of the parade. So if you want to support the American Legion Post, send or drop off a check to the American Legion Post 547, located at 233 Simpson Road in Ardmore, PA, or you can Venmo at Post 547 or at David Holland 233. And the VFW in Ardmore supported the parade for a long time, working in conjunction with Spencer Reed. That VFW has closed, so that's why we really appreciate Spencer Reed sticking around and keep making this parade happen year after year.
Yeah, Spencer, this Legion has been doing a lot of work in the background, and David Holland can't get enough credit for the work that he's done behind the scenes. And also at the end of the wreath laying, Spencer Reed always has their own get-together that folks are invited to.
The band's kind of rocking right now. I see the crowd sort of swaying. I'm not sure what it is. It's kind of a cool tune, but I see Township Manager Ernie McNeely over there. I see various Township staff people. People are sort of anticipating the start of the parade. We got off to a little bit of a slow start, and we're hoping the weather holds out. But again, the service, I think right now is expected to be, about 11:30 or so?
11:15, I think the ceremony, and the parade should be coming by momentarily.
Okay,
actually.
so we'll look.
Yeah, but the crowds are coming in. The people are hearing about it, that the rain has held out.
Yeah.
People are steadily walking in, and so we are excited that folks have showed up.
Township Manager McNeely, I think he's doing the Macarena over there. I don't think it doesn't really jive with the song, but
Well,
it really,
I'm a believer. Everybody loves the Monkees.
yeah, to each his own, I guess.
Now, one of the questions we have is, why is the parade route so short? And the answer is simple. Lancaster Avenue is a state-controlled road. It's PennDOT, which means we have a hard time getting it shut down.
Is it shut down yet?
It's not shut down yet. We thought it would be shut down a while ago. It's not shut down yet, but fingers crossed that we will have it shut down, because that could be kind of bad with all the kids on bikes and fire trucks and
without opposing traffic.
Yeah, and angry people coming from Radnor. So let's see it all
stay in
works
Radnor
out.
if they're going to bring that kind of animus to the parade.
Yeah, Radnor has their own parade.
Keep
but
those
this
bad
one-
vibes
this
in
is
Radnor.
much-
We don't need them
It's
here.
much better than Radnor.
Yeah, and we're braving the elements too. This tent could fall over at any moment and kill the three of us.
Well,
So-
before we went on camera, I was conked on the head, so I'm consulting with legal counsel about my options. But so far, so good.
And you still remember your name, so that's right. Some other groups that are here too. Sunrise of Haverford, possibly Sunrise of Haverford. Ardmore Progressive Civic Association, James W. Bell, Masonic Temple, 97. Like Anthony mentioned, the Scouts. So we may see Commissioner Courtney, who's been involved with the Scouts. Parade's also always looking for more people. World War I, World War II, huge numbers of veterans, and we, because we have fewer wars and fewer soldiers in those wars, we have declining numbers of veterans. So it's harder to find veterans. If you serve, you can show up at 10:15 a.m. on Greenfield Avenue as the parade forms and just march in the parade. And please feel free to reach out, get involved at any point. It's difficult to keep this going in a lot of ways without the support of veterans. So we have them, and please consider getting involved if you can. One other veteran event too, Belmont Hills Memorial Day service. I used to give a speech there a lot of mornings when I was on the Board of Commissioners, and that's set up through the American Legion Post. That's at 10:15 a.m. for Belmont Hills residents. So some of you may be able to go to that and then come right to the parade afterwards.
So we just heard a medley of Monkees tunes. That's easy for me to say, but they're really sounding good. I know they work really hard on practicing, and they're an excellent band.
Peter Tork, Mickey Dolenz, or
Yeah,
Davey Jones.
yeah. I remember
I think
them
there was
all.
somebody else.
Actually, but it's interesting. The Merion Musical Society was founded by Mary Colbert and Joseph Road in 1977 with the mission to foster and promote music and interest of music in the community. When it started, they had an overabundance of wind players, so they went from being sort of a musical society to the Merion Concert Band.
And the woman that walked by, that's Maria McKee and the program lady.
Oh,
so,
oh,
yeah.
Yes. Who,
and just
who almost just crashed there.
Yeah. Fair warning, if anyone here is accosted by an elderly woman handing out programs, you have an uncomfortable
Happy
experience,
Memorial Day.
it's probably my mother. But anyway, who rudely interrupted what Dave was saying. Oh, no, I was yelling at my mom. Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. That's quite all right.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thanks. So no rain yet. We're kind of excited about seeing the fire trucks and the candy, right?
And make sure you get the candy.
Yeah, some of those commissioners can't throw that well, so just be warned.
Oh, good for him. How about that?
That's great.
That's good to hear.
Hey, what's his middle name? Francis. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah. Well,
Francis,
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out, Francis.
Yeah, and that's
nice
something
seeing you.
we talk about with the veteran, our declining veterans in the parade. It's we really want to have kind of a youth movement to come out and stay involved. So if you're a son of a veteran, daughter of a veteran, nephew of a veteran, please come on out and get involved. So thank you. Yeah,
Good.
be proud.
Okay. Thanks. Nice seeing you both. We have a little break. The band is taking a break.
We're just.
Okay, so hi David.
Hey.
Hello Anthony. How are you? Check. Testing. Okay, so
we're back.
Yeah. All right. So, want to thank Captain John Mulhern, who retired from running the Lower Merion Memorial Day Committee, but he served as the MC for years and years. I think he was involved in this for over 30 years in total. Navy veteran. So thank you, Captain Mulhern, for your service and for supporting the community. This year, Lieutenant David Kelly from Delaware County, United States Marine Corps, retired, is going to make the remarks at the cemetery. Lieutenant Colonel Kelly enlisted in the Marines in 1971, retired in 2000, and in 2004 he agreed to return to active duty and deployed in Iraq to serve as a field historian. He chronicled this experience in a book entitled Hell in the Streets of Husaybah. And the planning committee for Lower Merion, we gratefully acknowledge the support that we've gotten from all the businesses and from Commissioner Stevenson, who I think chairs the Lower Merion Memorial Day Committee.
I do chair it, and of course it wouldn't be possible without the entire committee that was present. We want to say that we want to thank the support of all those individuals who contributed their time and who made this possible.
Yeah, Lower Merion has a pretty lengthy history, military history. It goes back to the Revolutionary War and some guy named George Washington. Lower Merion was a no man's land, not controlled by either side, where British and American troops came to get supplies for their battles in the surrounding areas. Actually, little known fact is that more of the residents were tourists. They're more fond of the British soldiers who pay with real money versus Americans who pay with notes and IOUs. But at the end of the Civil War, the Union Army set up a camp discharge on a hilltop in the western part of Lower Merion to care for injured soldiers. If you want to know more about Camp Discharge and what Lower Merion's role in all that was, there's a book called Back from Battle written by Jim Remsen and Brad Up, and it's available everywhere. Jim Remsen is a longtime resident of Ballackinwood, involved in the neighborhood club, and a former Philadelphia Inquirer writer. So there's a lot of Lower Merion history going back to
Yeah, and one guy from Ballackinwood, resident Jerry Francis, who passed away, I think, about 2 years ago or so. Jerry was such a fantastic historian for the township, and he did such a great job working with the Lower Merion Historical Society, and just a real treasure. And to keep a lot of those memories, and I know he worked with a lot of individuals to put together books like as Jim did about the history of Lower Merion.
Yeah, and we really have some very famous vets. General Hap Arnold, Lower Merion High School class 1903. We know that Arnold Field is named for him. He was known as the father of the U.S. Air Force. It's a great honor. He's a
five-star general, right?
One of a handful. One of the only five-star generals in two different branches of the military. Was in the Army and the Air Force, which is pretty remarkable. We also have Hobie Baker from Ballackinwood, known as the greatest amateur hockey player ever, with the College Player of the Year trophy. He was a lieutenant in the Army and a combat pilot. Got credit was taking down 3 enemy planes, tragically killed in 1920, and at the age of 26, died when his engine went out and he crashed while in France. So
He's buried at West Laurel Hill Cemetery, I believe.
Right.
So you can see the hockey pucks on his tombstone.
that's great. And we all know General Haig is.
He's in charge now, right?
Yeah, he certainly was.
Or he was in charge.
Yeah.
But Balakinwood resident Alexander Haig, I think he was the supreme commander of NATO. But when President Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981, Alexander Haig stepped briefly into to control at that point.
Yeah.
One plug, I don't want to forget the Lower Merion Memorial Day Committee. It's registered as a 501c3 charitable organization. So if you want to help support the parade, because we do need your support, you can send checks to the Township Building, care of Jody Kelly, Kelley, and the address of the Township Building is 75 East Lancaster Avenue here in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. So we do need donations and support. Appreciate everything we got. We mentioned a lot of our generous sponsors earlier today, but yeah, anything you can do to support the parade would be greatly appreciated. Speaking of the parade, it looks like it's just started.
Yeah, I
the
see
parade
it.
is starting.
Yeah.
Police
Patrol officer.
escort lead cars have just pulled up, so we're anticipating to see the rest of our parade group coming soon. The band is still playing, and of course the volunteers, the anticipation of our fire trucks. Speaking of fire trucks and fire stations, it's important for us to remind folks again that our township is always looking for volunteers. We have a long history going all the way back to the 1700s with fire volunteers, and we are always looking for members of this community to be a part of this most important organization.
I see our township manager Ernie McNeely over there enjoying the band. Our
He's not dancing as much now.
He's not dancing. The monkeys they're not doing any more monkeys. I see our public information officer Lori Jennings walking through the crowd, handing out programs. See lots of excited people. Lori, nice to see you. Give a wave.
Hey, stay out of my shot, Lori.
I think we're on the parade event. So.
And as Commissioner Stevenson was talking about the fire service too, just a quick plug on that. If you're interested, there's 6 volunteer firehouses throughout the township. You can go to joinlmfd.org for more information. So very simple. And there it looks like there's our community relations officer, Darren Swain, leading the parade here in a black SUV.
Yes, Darren
There he
Swain
is.
does a lot of work in the community and our
Officer
schools.
Swain!
We are always pleased to have him.
He's on the Memorial Day committee.
Yes.
right?
Part of the Memorial
Thank
Day
you.
Officer
Committee.
Swain does a great
Officer
job.
Swain.
And it looks like we've got some of the veterans now who are lining up. They made it to the national anthem momentarily.
Yeah, that's an important moment for all of us when they play that.
That's the most important, and then the least important would be when the commissioners throw candy, so you get a real wide...
The high and the low.
High and the low, yeah. Yeah, I can see Barry McKeon there with his light blue shirt on and black hat, and I actually can't see anybody else yet. But looks like the color guard from Spencer Reed's also assembled. And it just turned out, it's a really nice day. The crowd, right? It's a big
This
crowd.
has been one of our largest crowds.
Yeah.
And we thank everyone for coming out for stuff like this too. We really can't say it enough. It's, show your support for your veterans. It's a great community event. These are the kind of events that help bring communities together. And I'll be quiet now.
great job. It has
That
never
was-
sounded better. That
that
just
was- that was-
never
that
gets old.
That was beautiful.
Beautifully
And
done.
We are glad that they are able to participate, and we have our scouts who are the flag bearers, a local troop from Ardmore, the Zion Baptist Church. They are the troop that are responsible for walking with the veterans and carrying the flags.
Yeah, and it looks like a couple Spencer Reed veterans too.
That's been really
And there's always room for more veterans out here. So again, if you served, you're interested in coming, please come on out in March and get involved with the crew that's out here now.
Following that group, I think it's the Sons of the American Legion.
yes.
It's Squad 547, I believe.
Right. So that's Spencer Reed.
Yes, that is the Spencer Reed Sons of the Auxiliary Legion. Following with them is their Ladies Auxiliary. Followed is going to be showing up next.
Yep, and those who don't know, Leon Spencer Reed, he was actually the first African-American soldier from the main line who was killed in World War I. He was a private in the Army, born from Bryn Mawr, member of the U.S. Army, passed away in World War I, and then about 15 years later, the Leon Spencer Reed American Legion Post 547 was chartered, and that's now it's on 233 Simpson Road in Ardmore. So it's a huge institution of the community that's been here for nearly 100 years.
They're saluting the band now. Playing that New Orleans favorite, When the Saints.
Yep. And just a quick thank you to some Township staff who are also in the Lower Merion Memorial Day Committee. Jody Kelly, who works as the co-treasurer, who works behind the scenes to do so much to put this together. Lori Jennings, who we saw on the street handing out pamphlets. She's a public information officer. So we really appreciate their efforts too in getting everything together. They have meetings throughout the year with Commissioner Stevenson to get everything organized so it comes out today looking so good.
Yeah, we couldn't do none of this without their support. And like you said, behind the scenes with no fanfare, and this parade gets better and better each year.
We had a lot of emails from David Holland. It looked like he was out either recruiting or working with people, but it seemed to make the parade bigger and bigger this year, which is it's great because COVID hurt a lot of gatherings, a lot of parades, made it a lot harder, and I think people sort of almost got out of the pattern of going to these events. So this event is huge this year. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Great music too. Excellent drumming. Back in the day, I was a drummer in a band. I could barely keep a beat. These guys are really good drummers.
Yeah.
Any drumming now, or you're done?
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, that's why they didn't invite you. They were looking for a couple of substitute drummers, but they
They have their standards.
You didn't make.
They have high standards. Yeah, yeah.
Do some air drumming now if you want.
Chopsticks on the coffee table.
Okay.
That's kind of my
Yep.
thing.
So another band out here, and unfortunately my eyesight's gone. Doing a rendition of God Bless America.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was
a
a-
song for a lot of Philadelphia Flyers fans too, who may remember Kate Smith singing that in
Sure.
the 1970s when the Flyers won their 2 Stanley Cups. And since then, about 50 years have passed. They
Yeah.
changed coaches every couple of years, and no more Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
I think we heard some Irving Berlin earlier, and a little known fact that when Commissioner Andy Gabbard was in elementary school, he did a book report on
That's fascinating.
on Irving Berlin. So a lot of you Ward 6 residents who are tuning in, I know you wanted to hear some more information about Andy Gabbard. So we've got that, and if we can dig up any more, we'll certainly let you know. Something so I can see some of the parade people here.
We've got some dancers.
Yeah. But it's nice, you can see all around us, people are getting involved in it, a little dancing in the street. A lot safer now that the street's actually closed.
Thank you, PennDOT.
All right. So I think
let's see what's up next here. And let me just give a quick plug to the Belmont Hills Fire Company. They're going to be out here now. I actually joined the board of directors for the Belmont Hills Fire Department in February, and we're doing very well with numbers, with firefighters. This year, we really just grateful to the community and a lot of former and current firefighters for coming back out, new and old. It's been really great to see what's going on there. And as Commissioner Stevenson said earlier, it's important to recruit for our volunteer departments. So if you want to get out there and be a hero, please think about getting involved and joining the Lower Merion Fire Department, because all of our firehouses are looking for volunteers.
Yeah, that's a great success story for Belmont Hills. You should be very proud of what's been taking place there.
It's probably had a lot to do with you joining the board.
It has nothing to do with me joining the board, but the Southwest Light Bearers Drill Unit, I think, is here now.
Yes, Southwest. This is a man out of Philadelphia that does a great job with their drum line, and they're helping young people make connections with through drumming.
And it's a really great thing. It's a Lower Merion parade, but it's also a regional parade in a lot of ways. So you get folks that come out not just from Lower Merion, but from other areas that are join the parade or see the parade. Here come the Scouts.
Now we have the Scouts.
Is that Commissioner Courtney?
That is Ray Courtney.
We got a Courtney sighting.
Is that Commissioner
Courtney?
Commissioner Courtney can't hear us, but we're glad to see him and his son, Jack, out there.
Jack, right? Jack. Yeah, thank you very much, Ray.
So this is the Merion troop.
And that's a nice thing. It's kind of a pillar of our community to a lot of these institutions, whether it's Little League or the Scouts like this. It's great to see family activities and people getting involved and to have just some great activities for our youths. Oh, looks like they're throwing stuff, but some of it went backwards.
Oh, so somebody's giving out candy.
Somebody threw a full bag of candy, a little girl snatched it up and trying to retrieve it.
She's like one of my favorite people already.
I think you're supposed to take the candy out of the bag, right?
That was the traditional way, it was to throw it individually instead of just throw the whole bag. I get to each his own.
Kudos to that girl for having good reflexes.
Yeah, real heads up play there.
We should give her a spot here on a special guest.
She could be a
commissioner in waiting, I guess.
An emergency medical responder with those quick reflexes.
Yes. And then we've got Sunrise. So it is Sunrise.
Not Sunrise.
Not Sunrise. Yeah.
That's kind of a Freudian slip there.
I thought that was a typo, but you never know.
You never know. Maybe they changed the name. They thought, whatever takes place there is up to them.
Right. But it's Sunrise of Haverford, and thank you for being involved in the parade.
Thank you, Sunrise.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ceremony that we're going to have over at St. Paul's Cemetery, starting around 11:15 a.m. Todd Ridke will be playing taps. There'll be a benediction by Reverend Carolyn Cavanis and Jerry Newberg, and Lieutenant Colonel David Kelly, former United States Marine Corps, retired, not former, but retired United States Marine Corps. He'll be doing the presentation. So if you're able to make it over there, that's a little more of a solemn ceremony, and it's a great way to end the day.
It's always a moving ceremony. They do a very good job, and it is somber, but it's sort of the point of the holiday, so it's certainly worthwhile.
Right, this is kind of the fun stuff, and it's great to have that too, and an appropriate way to end things.
So we have another band out of Newark, New Jersey.
Jersey, yeah.
And there's a dance team that Spencer Holland Legion, David Holland allowed us to be a part of this day. So we're glad to have these young people participate.
Yeah, again, it's great to have the young folks out here. We talked to a daughter and her mother talking about their veteran connection that they had, and get kids involved at a young age if they can to understand this, what it's about, and appreciate it.
Yep. Let's just take a moment to listen to this group.
One of the highlights of the parade. Looks like it's being followed by one of the lowlights. I can see the commissioner van there.
Yeah,
looks like there's President Sinai, Commissioner Kramer.
And I do see Commissioner Epstein in there. Doesn't seem like they're throwing out a lot of candy.
I'm not sure some of them have the arm strength to get the candy over the truck, but we'll see.
Looks like a lot of handouts, which is kind of typical for our board.
A lot of handouts.
A lot of children running in terror.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of the reasons why there's more candy being handed out this year is because
I see Commissioner Epstein and Commissioner Kramer handing out small amounts of candy.
Yeah, I'm not taking any chances though.
I'd put that helmet on.
Yeah.
Mike's done this before, you can tell. You don't want to lose an eye or have a traumatic head injury.
No, I mean you can see it right there. The proof's in the pudding there with some of those arms. It's not encouraging. I think a dog was just hit now. No, the dogs are.
Yeah, I see a labradoodle.
Yeah.
Honing in on a piece of candy.
Yeah.
That may end badly.
Very typical labradoodle behavior. We have one in our house named Chance, and
they can unwrap the candy. They can read the ingredients in the label.
And they throw it back.
They'll throw it back. Yeah. They're very fussy animals.
Ruin your marriage too.
Really, yeah. The labradoodles. They insist on sitting in the front seat of the car. Yep. They want to control the remote control for the TV. They're really difficult pets.
Here we go.
I see President Sinai.
Yeah. And I mean the commissioner, the vehicle's like not even really in the parade.
Yeah.
It's getting passed by the other cars.
I don't understand what's going on.
I'm surprised President Sinai doesn't have his trusty gavel.
Yeah,
really to kind of,
I think they're just drunk with power. They just think they can drive wherever they want to. I mean, there is a parade. There's supposed to be some order here.
I see Val Rossman, the First Lady of Val Kenwood.
Floor
and
9. First Lady of Ward 9. Yeah.
First Lady of
Floor
Ward 9.
9.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not trying to take away your part of Val Kenwood. Ward 9, yeah. Proud moment. This is her, I think this is her inaugural parade.
Here it comes.
There you are.
Okay. I don't know.
There they are. They're the commissioners.
Hey, Mr. President.
Hello, Mr. President. President Sinai.
President Sinai.
We used to know you.
No.
He's we're kind of getting a cold shoulder.
Yeah,
from
we're
the
not getting
commissioners.
it. But there's Lou Rossman too. Hey.
Hello, commissioners. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, commissioners. Commissioner Rossman.
Incoming. No. Okay. We survived that, I guess.
We've seen something today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Something's missing too. Commissioner Zelda, really known for that kind of Sonny Jurgensen rubber band arm.
Yeah.
100 yards on a dive. Not there for some reason.
Famous for it.
I don't know why he's not in the parade. But
He may be waiting a police transport.
Because we didn't give him a police escort.
I'm not sure that's going to be happening this year.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't outrun that arm. He can lead you, and it's a big absence from that band.
Oh, we have a new police superintendent, so it may be a dawning of a new day as far as Commissioner Zalov is concerned.
Yeah, welcome, Commissioner or Superintendent Andrew Block. He's going to become the superintendent.
He'll be coming the superintendent next month. Looking forward to having him on board. It is
we had a sort of a
great
going away
moment for our township.
Going away ceremony for outgoing Superintendent Michael McGrath, who basically his entire law enforcement career was here in Lower Merion, and he did a great job.
Yeah, he was at Lower Merion from 1978, and I think until this year.
Some more good drumming.
Here we have another drum line. These young folks are excellent, participating, stir up the crowd. We're glad to have them.
It looks like we're going to have some military vehicles coming in. It's been a couple of years since we got two military vehicles in the parade, and I believe David Holland was able to get these guys to come out busting out. So that's great.
He was, and it's great to have representatives of our military here.
Yeah. Hey.
I used to work with Lower Merion. I retired. I saw you at the breakfast.
Yes.
Take care.
Yeah.
So, is this where you leave, Mike?
I usually duck out right before the fire trucks. So mercifully, I'm leaving in probably about a minute and a half or so. I'm going to try to trip as I leave and knock over as much of this equipment as I can behind me.
Yeah.
And this is the Fort
I'll
Powell.
knock over the table if it helps.
We have here now the Fort Powell drum team, another great team, I think, from South Philly. But another great team that David Holland was able to bring us.
And we have two military vehicles behind them, and then the fire trucks are coming, and they typically bring up the rear of the parade, but there's a bunch of them. Hamilton drum unit. I think they also the Sixers drum line too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
they're amazingly good.
All right, now we have two military vehicles coming.
Do we know what kind of vehicle? I mean, is it a transport vehicle?
Deuce and a half.
I'm pretty gullible, Commissioner.
But it does look like some sort of a transport
That's
truck or
I
vehicle.
think.
No weapons on the vehicle.
No, as far as we can tell.
Yeah. And listen, we may have some service members driving them too. So.
Yeah, I think our other band is starting up again.
Yeah, starting
Resuming.
back up.
All right.
And transports is. Mike, we'll
I'm
see
going to
you
try
down
to
there.
discreetly leave here. Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure and an honor
Thank you,
as
Mike.
always. Yeah. See you at on the other side.
Okay.
Well, now that Mike's gone, maybe we can get some
Now we
stuff.
can get some
really
work done. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to correct a lot of misimpressions.
A lot of
So
misstatements that he's made.
yeah.
And we have now as the
We did fact check everything that we say, but sometimes you don't have the support for everything.
don't
But
have it for
I think we're about 99% right.
pretty much at 99. And speaking of, there's our new police chief,
Yeah.
Block, who's driving the Gladwin fire truck.
There he is. Gladwin Fire Company established
And
1944,
as
and
we've
that's
said before,
24. So 24 is. It's actually 24 is 10 feet tall. Carries 750 gallons of water and pump capable. It can pump water at 1,500 gallons per minute. There we have Penguin. Penguin engine 21, also a large one.
when these trucks first purchased, they cost about $800. Now they're purchasing, it costs over $1 million.
Over $1 million bucks.
So
Yeah.
when people talk about volunteer and fires and about the cost, it's not just about getting volunteer people, it's about equipment.
Yeah.
And we are fortunate to have a lot of equipment.
Here we have Bryn Mawr,
With the Bryn Mawr.
Squad 23, and then the distinctive gold and
The
green.
gold
Kind of
and
unusual
green.
colors, but everybody knows that it's Bryn Mawr. That's
Followed by the
Squad
Belmont
23.
Hills Fire
Belmont
Company.
Hills, and Mike had those good comments about how they've gotten attendance and membership back up. There's Squad 22 of Belmont Hills. This carries 750 gallons of water and has what's known as 1,400 feet of attack hose, 2,000 feet of supply hose. So they really are very versatile.
Yes, and needed. And then followed there, we have the Union Fire Association.
Yeah, there's
Ballard
Union.
Kenwood.
Yep. That's 28. This is another 1,500 gallon per minute pump, 750 gallon tank. It's got a lot of stuff on it. It's really well equipped.
That's a ladder.
Apparatus. Yeah.
High ladder.
Another one from Union. That's truck 28. It has sort of a unique thing. It has a sort of the 12-foot scissor jack spread, 187 feet of ground ladder. So that can really, because we have some taller buildings in Ballard Kenwood, so Union's equipped to take care of whatever needs to be done. So we're really grateful for all they do.
Yeah, well, we're not only grateful, but we're privileged to have them serve us.
Interestingly, the township has allocated money to redo the Union fire hall. So we're gonna see if that doesn't help with recruitment and provide sort of temporary housing for the volunteers. So that'll be a good thing.
Yes, we're hopeful that works out because, of course, we want our volunteers not only to be able to work for us, but to be able to stay nearby when there's that call.
Absolutely. So who do we have here? Anthony, this is, you know,
I think this is our fire association. Volunteers, yes. These are.
you hear the bagpipes, certainly.
They are here honoring those who have served, lost their lives.
Yes.
As always, the job is
It's
a dangerous job, and we honor those folks every day.
Yeah.
So we'll just stop and listen to them. See our fire chief here,
Yep.
members of the battalion.
They're playing from the halls of Montezuma.
Yep. Beautiful display of honoring our leadership in fire department. And rearing up the end, we have my
Ardmore, Engine
Fire
25.
which represents my ward. Which is a great group of folks on Greenfield Avenue.
We've got a couple more Ardmore trucks. This is 25-1.
And Ardmore is a ladder truck just
Yep.
passed by. And you know, this is a great day for Memorial Day. But I just want to take time to mention one of the people who are not with us today is Linda Jackson, a longtime director of the Ardmore Community Center. Linda recently passed away. Linda was a real cornerstone of this community, and she'll be missed. But as the community center is being rebuilt, there will be more honors for her later. So. We really had a lot of good drum
Yeah, the
lines
drumming's
today. I think that
amazing.
we've had
Really
this
good.
is about almost over a half dozen drum lines, and
Yeah.
they've been real entertaining. Keep the community engaged, and I got to say we've had a great turnout today.
Yeah, surprising. You know, there was talk about canceling because of the weather forecast, but
Yes.
it looks like we're doing okay.
Yes,
I think they're predicting heavy rain after
rain this
lunchtime, but
afternoon.
we'll get the parade
But
in, and we're
we'll
grateful
get it
for
in.
that.
And I got to tell you that the turnout is. I think it's, as I said before, it gets larger and larger every year.
Well,
'Cause
certainly,
I think the
yeah.
parade's getting better and better.
Yeah, there are way more participants, and
This is the Marching Orange Line. up the rear is
We have the Lower Merion Township Police Department here.
we have the Ardmore, the Narberth Ambulance Service,
Yes.
which is another
Great institution.
institution in our township. The volunteerism, another volunteer group that depends on the community, like our fire department, but they serve our community and other communities as well.
They do a great job not only in providing ambulance services, but they do training. They were involved in our Narcan training program. Excellent job. Appreciate all they do.
Yeah, we can't say enough about it. They are constantly training people. Constantly
that's work they do on their own. They don't
Yes.
really get compensated for it.
Exactly.
So when the Health Advisory Council asked them to show up, they showed up and did a remarkable job with the Narcan and important work.
During the pandemic season, they were out and about making sure that people were healthy and safe. So we are very fortunate to have such great service facilities. Our ambulance service, fire company, can't say enough about our police department. Our community is very fortunate. So this has been a great parade.
Yeah, the Township Police also do an outstanding job.
Yes.
Have for a long time.
Yes. So we are living in this community. We have a lot of the services that we should never take for granted. So I think that is
I think that may be it. So
that may be the end of our parade.
yeah.
And with that,
I think we may shortly be switching to Mike.
switching to Mike pretty soon. But again,
at
I want to,
cemetery.
as we're closing up, I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank you, Dave, for being a part of this.
Thank you
This
for
was
including me. I
great.
enjoyed it.
And we look forward to having you next year. All right.
Depends on the ratings, but
On the ratings,
I'll be available.
But we want to thank everybody for coming.
Great.
All right.
Thank you all.
All right.
Happy Memorial Day.
Everybody have a great Memorial Day. All right. All right. So one of the things that we want to remind people, those who wanted to go down to St. Paul's should go down to St. Paul's. Otherwise, we want to have everybody have a safe day today because it's going to rain later on. All right?
Okay.
Everybody have a great day.
Take care.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you all.
We ask God that they return home speedily in good health and safety for their loved ones. May God grant us the wisdom to uphold this virtue, that it may continue to serve as a system of liberty and harmony between peoples for all the world to say. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Bye. I now call Mary McKeon of the Veterans of Foreign Wars and go ask for the Leon Spencer Reed American Legion Post 547 to raise the flag as Kelly Hatcher and Danielle Muse sing the national anthem.
Let's make sure that looks good. Here, go ahead and get closer to the men holding the flags.
What's proudly we hail at what life lastly, whose stripes and bright stars through perilous fighting for the hearts we watch, work down receiving through light that black was still there. For that star spangled banner, yeah, where For land of free and a home
Thank you, Danielle and Kelly. Immediately after World War II, former Merion School Superintendent Dr. Edward Snow organized a service honoring especially that war casualties and other veterans, but also all Americans who have put on the uniform of their
Yeah, go
country
ahead and go get hands
and
on
gone off to
equipment.
defend
He
in
does
faraway
that.
places.
Don't get too close
The
over.
tradition of honoring war dead and other veterans today in North America, as it does across the entire United States. The service in this cemetery holds the remains of 400 veterans of earlier wars from the Revolutionary War forward. The graves are faithfully dressed for this day with their nation's flag. We commemorate for those who may not be buried here. Military service often is commemorated by a wreath. For millennia, the wreath has been a device of honor, and it remains so today. We shall lay 3 wreaths. The first wreath is for those who have served in past conflict and have not returned. Guard McKean will lay the first wreath. Joe Falco will lay the first wreath. Joe Falco.
Copy.
The second wreath, those who have served and have returned. These are the ones who, when war came, have beaten their plowshare swords and their pruning hooks and spears. As the prophet Joel puts it, and who, when the war was over, have beaten their swords and plowshares, as Isaiah put it. Combat men today often take the lives of soldiers who would have died in the previous wars, but their wounds have lasting effect. We as a country owe them much and have made a commitment to take care of veterans who have returned. A commitment that cannot be put aside. I have pierced the second wreath.
There you go.
The third wreath for several groups of service members, including those who are serving today in theaters of active conflict and those who watch elsewhere in the world to deter or control conflict before they get out of conflict. As American officers have learned when they study the art of war in our service colleges, the best strategy is to win without fighting. And it is the soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and Space Force who are on watch, even when there are no headlines, to make it possible to deter conflicts from erupting. We offer them a wreath of honor, since honor is the finest thing that a grateful nation can offer them. Finally, the third wreath is laid for tomorrow's warriors, some of whom even now are preparing to take their places in the long line of American defenders. These are the students in our service academy, our reserve officer training program, in our enlistment schools, in basic training, and in our youth programs. We offer this wreath in the hope that they will not be called into harm's way, and with prayer that if they are called, they will meet the challenge with the courage of those who preceded them. The safety of those who have now laid their arms because of it is in the hands of tomorrow's warriors. I ask our present elected officials to lay this wreath. Riflemen, please take station.
Over by me.
Riflemen, fire the salute. The Reverend Paul Cadmus of Ardmore Central African Methodist Episcopal Church will now give the benediction.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for having brought us together to pay tribute to those who lost their lives defending our nation. May their lives live on in gracious presence, and may they experience the full measure of your love and mercy. We also hope that you will guide and make us worthy of the sacrifices from which we all have benefited. We pray whenever we do, how blessed we are as a nation, as a community, as a people, and most importantly, as your children. Let us go forth in peace. Amen.
Our bugler today will now play taps. Bugler, sound off. Ladies and gentlemen, Lower Merion Memorial Day service year 2024 is now ended. We ask that you remember all year those who have been in our thoughts today. May God bless them and keep them.
Isn't he supposed to do 3 shots? Isn't
Yeah.
he?
So, are you the director? Fire it off again.